Hi again and welcome to the Azure 101 mini-series. We're glad to have you with us. So last time we looked at the Cloud Adoption Framework, or CAF. We looked at what it is and why many organisations intentionally use it to successfully adopt cloud, more specifically Azure. And in this episode, we're going to be exploring the first sections in a bit more detail, and then in the next episode, look at the next phase of the plan. Now, these two phases form the foundation for your cloud adoption because they will highlight both where you have been, so you have an accurate inventory, as well as where you hope to be and in what sort of timeline. So strategy, which is an important one because this will define the why of using cloud. There are several things an organisation would need to consider for building a full strategy. So Sam, do you want to start running through them right now?
Yeah, thanks Gina. So firstly, the organisation should consider their readiness to migrate to Azure. Now, the common misconception here is that it can be answered really quickly and straight away. However, you may need to actually consider other parts of the strategy, like maybe defining the team that you have, so you answer your current question, such as the cloud readiness. Next, the organisation would consider all the motivations it has to migrate to Azure, and this isn't always just a positive reason, such as to have your applications have a global reach. It may actually be that you're moving away from a negative experience, like you had a multiple power cut within the data centre or on-premise, and your application needs to have consistent access. But once you have these, you then need to know what the outcomes are going to be. So if we take a quick look at the Microsoft documentation here, which by the way is really great on this subject, we can see some of these motivations. So we have data center migration, scale quickly and easily to meet demand, take advantage of innovative technology, and this could actually be services like Microsoft Fabric, Synapse for analytics, or even Azure Kubernetes. Now the good news is if we keep looking, we'll see that in the alignment, we'll have the business outcomes that are linked to these motivations. And this is where we find the business outcome template, which we showcased in our last video. Lastly, the organizations consider creating the Cloud Center of Excellence. Well, that does sound good, doesn't it? This in effect means ensuring key stakeholders across the business, from maybe CEOs to finance, sales, or even senior developers, are involved in the whole process, aligning the entire organization to the technology adoption and not just alienating a business unit. The strategy will outline who is in each of these teams and make up the Cloud Center of Excellence, and include the roles that these teams have, maybe the existing skills or the new skills that are needed for Azure adoption. The Excellence team will also execute and also update the business on the strategy. So Gina, I'm sure your viewers are actually curious about what the main motivations we typically see an organisation moving to Azure for. So do you want to take us through that?
So certainly, so the biggest motivation we are seeing is in innovation. So when done correctly, innovation can yield significant benefits for businesses. Many companies, when thinking of innovations, are focusing on effectively using their existing and net new data and embracing data democratization. So put simply, they are looking at how their organization make the data work for them by making it accessible for everyone in the organization, regardless of their technical skills.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, but Cloud Adoption Framework doesn't actually just stop there. It also helps businesses define what partnerships are needed and when. So this will help in key areas like identifying and resolving skill gaps, for example, maybe providing guidance on best practice, suggesting and supporting the adoption of the Microsoft programs that are available, and maybe even incentives to help drive that business forward. Let's take a look at the RACI template we discussed in our last video, and we can actually see in the template it's allocated the responsibility of each task to a cloud team, whether this is being informed or actually being held accountable. And to ensure accountability, the organisation will need to enable their workforce. The column I in this sheet shows the skills, Microsoft certifications for example, ranging from maybe fundamentals exams like the AZ900 for executives and sales staff, to advanced exams like the AZ204 for solution architects or the AZ400 for DevOps specialists. Now all of this is possible using a cloud solution provider or CSP, such as Grey Matter. And we won't go into detail of a CSP on this video, but why not actually check out our website where you can find all about the CSP channel and what Grey Matter has to offer. The link is in your screen now. So that's it for this episode again. Thanks very much for watching. Next time we're going to be looking at the planning phase. See you then.
Thanks, bye.